This is a Global Original Podcast. Hello?
Oh, there you are. God.
Of course I'm here. Yeah, I was just, scrolling around the internet looking for stupid things Roger Daltrey said.
Looking for what?
I was wasting my life on Twitter. Oh, my God. When will it ever stop, Carol?
Well, okay. How much time have you spent on Twitter this morning?
Well, not as much as normal because it's been interrupted by this. But normally I wake up, I get up in the morning, waking for breakfast.
Twitter for breakfast.
Yeah, Twitter for breakfast and lunch. I'm still on it at like 1. I waste so many hours on Twitter and I get nothing done at all. I learn nothing. I create nothing. Why am I wasting my life like this?
You have to go to Twitter Anonymous. You've got to wean yourself off it, Knickers. And I know it's difficult. It is difficult. It's really hard, but you've got to be firm and disciplined with yourself. Just stop it. Go and do something else.
Yeah, I really need to start doing something else because it's not getting me anywhere. What was that?
It was the email,
what was
obviously. Wait, there's another one. Hang on, I need to shut it down because I was waiting for you to send me the link.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
right, it's
always.
my fault. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
always. I'm sorry, and I've got the washing machine on as well, so you could probably hear that.
That's very bad timing. You could have put the washing machine on any time.
Well, I know, but I put it on for half an hour, and I must have not changed the time on it. So now it's on for an hour, so it's got another 20 minutes.
All your smalls will be shrunk.
Actually, no, seven more minutes. But you can't hear it anyway. It's quite a quiet one, isn't it?
Well, I can't hear it over you.
Right, okay. What did you learn on Twitter this morning? Did you send any tweets or did you just oh Christ, it's gonna spin now. You'll have to just put up with it. Sorry, Knickers. What's the name of
that? What's the name of that Liverpudlian transvestite comedian?
Oh, Ed
Big on
Izzard.
TV. No. Big on TV, Liverpudlian.
Oh, I don't know.
What's his name? Loves pets.
What? Oh, Julian Clary.
No.
Oh.
The really aggressive one.
Well, I don't know.
Oh my God, who is he?
I don't know, a transvestite who loves pets, who's a comedian who's on TV. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a pretty slim sort of list of stuff, isn't it? It's like there can't be that many.
You don't know anybody that fits that description? But it's so wide and varying. You do.
Well, Eddie Izzard, he's not as. Did you say Scouser as well? Did you say?
Yeah, definitely. Very, very, very Liverpudlian. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts now.
Oh, I don't know. Google it.
I had Google. Google what? All right, I will.
Yeah.
I'll see what comes up.
Transvestite comedian, Liverpool.
Now, whatever comes up is your fault. You do understand this, don't you?
Right, come on, I'm dying to know now.
Comedian. Paul OGrady.
Paul OGrady? Oh, yeah, I suppose he did used to dress up, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah.
I've kind of forgotten that he dressed up as a lady sometimes.
Well, not a lady, really.
Oh. With a mouth.
I can't remember what his alter ego's name is now. Oh, my God, this is ridiculous. Now I'm going to have to... Wait a minute. Paul OGrady.
Lily something.
Lily Savage.
Lily Savage, that's it, God. Yeah.
I saw him on stage once. He said, I washed me jeans the other day. I left me ecstasy tablets in them. The machine was spinning for 3 hours. And the water it got through.
That's quite funny, actually, isn't it?
He was properly funny.
He was.
He is
actually.
properly funny.
Yeah, no, he is.
Well, I haven't seen him in anything lately, but he used to be so good. It's really surprising that he became, like a family entertainer, because his act, the thing that got him to where he is, was not family friendly at all.
Well, I don't know about that. He was always popular even with the old people. I mean,
when he went to TV and he cleaned it up, that's when he became family friendly. But the reason that he's on TV in the first place is his old act, which was not for delicate ears at all.
No. It was very rude. He was very rude. Worse than Julian Clary. I mean, for sort of, smutty stuff.
Yeah, and just aggressive, like really aggressive. Just hilarious, though. Very, very funny.
It was very funny, actually. Well, he is funny, yeah, but he only does like dog programs now, doesn't he? He does. I'm sure I read somewhere that his chat show was coming back, but I don't think it has yet. No, I think he's going to, because he did that chat show. I was on his show a couple of times, actually, when he did the chat show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he is really nice. He's really nice. Oh, that was it. When he did that show, right? Could you hear my washing machine? I know it sounds like a drill, but it's actually my washing machine. I think it's in a space that is a bit too small for it.
Right. Well, that also describes you rattling around in that tiny shoebox of a flat.
But like everything in this flat, exactly. Yeah, we're going to try and get a new bed. But the problem is, if you get a bed that's even like 1 inch taller or longer or wider than the one we've got, it just won't fit the room. I know. Anyway, we're trying. No, I was saying about Paul O'Grady, right? Mark used to work at ITV. That's Mark, my other half. He used to work on ITV, and he was, for a while, a production accountant on Paul O'Grady's show. Okay. And when I first got together with him, and he said to me, he went, how much do you earn on Loose Women? That's how he talks. So anyway, I told him, right, and everybody thinks that on Loose Women you get paid like 10 grand a day or something. You don't get anywhere near that. And in TV terms, it's relatively kind of low pay when you look at what everybody else gets. But anyway, I'm not complaining. It's fine. So I told him what I got paid, and he went, oh, really? And I went, yeah. And he went, hey, I'll tell you something. Paul O'Grady's dog gets more than you. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding you, seriously, because at the time when Paul O'Grady's show first came onto ITV, and he had that beautiful little dog. You remember the cute little dog Buster? I don't know if you ever watched it.
No.
But Buster was part of the show, and his agent, or Paul himself, I don't know who negotiated it, but negotiated a fee for the dog, right? Because it was so part of the show. And obviously it was a bloody good fee. Mark didn't tell me what it was, but all he said was that he got paid more than the Loose Women. And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever, that a little dog who's like a sideshow on a chat show gets paid more than me. Brilliant.
What did the dog spend its money on?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe saving it up to leave to the dog's home. I think that dog is no longer. I think that dog passed away a long time ago. But I mean, I think Paul O'Grady's got about 10 dogs or something, because every time he goes and does that show for the love of dogs, I think he goes back with about 3 dogs or something.
Well, somebody should look into that dog's finances and find out where the dog's money went when it died.
Yeah,
and I think I think we're looking at a major crime here, Carol. That dog was murdered for its money.
Also, I mean, is his tax bill up to date? Maybe,
exactly.
was that dog evading tax in any way?
Yeah.
The dog gets paid more than you. Oh, dear. Anyway, and what else, Snickers? Apart from wasting time on Twitter, what else have you been doing?
Moaning about my teeth, my tooth, well, one tooth specifically. I've got toothache, Carol. Ow.
Oh, God, it's terrible, isn't it? It's a terrible thing, toothache, and especially now when it's just not easy to find a dentist.
You can find one if you are not interested in using the NHS.
Well,
If you're on the NHS, then you can be put on a waiting list to go on a waiting list.
Yeah.
If you go private, the doctor is in and will see you now.
Yeah, and by the time you actually get to see the NHS dentist, you'll be dead and they'll be ripping your teeth out to give to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I went in there and he put a new crown on. But I don't think that solved the problem because the pain continues. Do you know how much a crown is?
No, I've got no idea. I haven't got any.
Teeth?
Yeah, I know, but I haven't got any crowns on my teeth, so I don't know how much they are, right?
Yeah, you missed that one. You said, I haven't got any. And I said, teeth? Never mind.
Oh.
I just throw these witticisms around, Carol. These gems, they just fall on the ground unused, unappreciated.
Well, you didn't say it like a question. Your intonation wasn't right. You went teeth. You didn't say, what, teeth? Right, no, hang on. Hang on a minute. This is not my responsibility to get a joke where you don't use the right intonation. I said, I have no idea how much a crown is. I have no idea. I haven't got any. And you went teeth.
Exactly.
What the word? Well, you just shouted teeth at me. You didn't say, what, teeth? Do you know what I'm saying? Listen. If you're listening to this podcast, back me up.
No. I am listening to this podcast and you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm dead right. And I'm sick of you telling me I'm wrong.
What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing?
I can hear myself now. Look back about 10 seconds after, well, it's about a second after I say it. Now it's disappeared.
I haven't done anything. I swear.
I haven't done anything.
All I've done is I've moved the microphone back slightly because I'm kind of too close to it, or I feel a bit too close to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I bet that's the phrase that you've used most in your entire life. I ain't done nothing.
No, actually, yeah, that's one of them. Oh, the other one is, I don't know how to do it.
Oh, look, give it to me.
You know, when lazy people they do know how to do things, but they go, I don't know how to do it because I just want someone else to do it. I do say that a lot. I used to say that a lot, and now Mark says it much more than me, so I say it less.
Right.
So,
but this has nothing to do with my teeth.
Oh, your teeth, yes. So how much was it?
It was just shy of £1,000.
Oh, for fuck's sake, are you kidding me? What? I thought you were going to say like 200.
No.
Don't.
1,000. And he's going to have to rip it out and throw it away because that didn't solve the problem of the tooth.
I can't, honestly, I can't believe that. Are you serious? Serious? £1 crown, £1,000.
£1,000, yeah.
And it doesn't even work.
No, it doesn't work. No. So now my problem is, if I go back and he pulls it out, am I going to have to pay him to pull it out? Or if I get root canal treatment, which is a byword for pain, and I've never had it before and I don't want it, but to save a tooth, because it's a molar, then am I going to have to pay him for the crown and then pay him for the root canal and then pay him for another crown that he's going to have to put onto the tooth if it has a root canal? And then if that doesn't work, I might have to pay him to pull it out.
Okay, let me just have a little think about that. Yes, you are going to have to pay for all of those things. This is what happens with private dentistry. They charge you for absolutely everything. I'm surprised they don't charge you to make an appointment.
Yeah,
Honestly.
it's like a nice smile and a warm handshake, £60.
Everything is £60. Well, you see, the thing is, last time I went to the dentist, he's quite good, my dentist. He's never done anything, which I kind of want him to do some things, but he just says no, it's best to leave it. The only thing he's ever done is pull one of my teeth out because it was cracked and it was making my whole face ache, right? So I took it. So he took that out. But I've got...
You are a face ache.
Anyway, so I want him to do things. I've got all these fillings what I want replacing, and I've got all this bad dentistry that you can't really see, but is bad that I want doing. And basically, in not so many words, he says, "Well, you're just too old." Well, he doesn't say that, but it's like, look, it's fine. You can't see how bad it is, but it just bothers me slightly, and I'm willing to pay to get it done. Although, given the price these days for even a crown, I don't think I am willing to pay. Yeah. But yeah, so I always go and he does an X-ray now and again, and he says, "Oh, everything's fine. You're fine." I've got terrible sensitive teeth, so it really gives me a lot of pain, but there's nothing you can do about that. But the hygiene.
Wait. What? You have terribly sensitive teeth, and there's nothing your dentist can do about it.
Well, you can't. What can you do about sensitive teeth? Nothing. You just have to stop eating ice cream and buy some good toothpaste. That's it.
Right. Okay.
So I used to go to the hygienist once a year as well, who used to be 50 quid.
Yeah.
Right? And since COVID, the appointments gone up, the same thing, to 120 quid, right?
Wow.
And the reason they give for that is because they have to do a deep clean every time. But hang on a minute. When I used to go in there, everything was sterilised. Everything was clean. Everything. She always wore a mask and a shield and all of this stuff, blah, 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 and always wore gloves. Everything was... So now they say, well, because we have to clean everything, so every appointment is double the time. I'm like, seriously? I can't...
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to pay for double the time. That's on them.
Exactly. That's not my problem, is it?
Yeah.
I'm happy for you not to do that deep clean. Just do it. Use the same stuff on me. I don't give a shit. I'm serious. I really am serious.
Here's some scraping tools I found on a bus. Use those.
Well, it's all good for the immune system, isn't it? Well, look, so now I can't get to see the hygienist unless I pay 120 quid, but I don't know, maybe I could get it cheaper. But this is what's happening. I noticed the other day, right? I went onto the my doctor's website. You have this app thing where you can book online appointments and all of that. And when you go on it, it's like, see what's available from this surgery. And then you click on that, and then everything that you look at is a connection or a link to a private facility where you have to pay. And I'm thinking,
this is your NHS GP?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And all of it, every single link is. So in other words, you're not supplying any of that stuff. All you're doing is referring me to another private facility.
God, it's not something that's in the air, and it may happen, the privatisation of the NHS.
It is happening.
It's happening at great speed.
And I read so many stories now where obviously last year where people weren't being seen or they weren't getting their scans or their checks or they weren't being diagnosed, and every single one of them has to go private. But now the NHS is, I can't remember where I read it now, I've probably saved it somewhere, but the NHS is now recommending that people go private if they can. And it's like, it's kind of happening.
What is happening is, and if we were going towards what they do in Europe, which is where they spend around about the same amount per head as we do, and they get better results, There's none of this waiting list stuff. You can see your doctor, you can choose your doctor, and all of that. They're in Europe, and it's mostly insurance based through your employer. And if there are people who can't afford it or they haven't got jobs or whatever, then they're completely taken care of. That's the gold standard of what they do in Europe. But that's not where we're going. We're following America, which is the most insane medical system in the world.
Yes,
and only they do this. If you have a ton of money, then you will get excellent treatment. If you haven't got any money, you get nothing.
Nothing.
You know how much it costs to call an ambulance in America? £3,000.
Well, they do have some charity ambulances. I know they do in New York. They definitely do.
There was a woman whose leg fell down the train, between the train and the platform and the edge of the train.
Yeah.
And people had to rock the train to get her loose. That's how badly she was mangled. And she was screaming, don't call an ambulance, because I can't afford it.
Oh,
people are going to hospital, bleeding from the eyeballs, in an Uber because they can't afford an ambulance. That's where we're going.
We are. We really are. I know. It really, really scares me and worries me at the health thing, especially. I mean, it's good in France and you can still go to a hospital, but you have to have a test or you have to have your jabs or whatever if you want to go for elective stuff. But for emergencies, you're still allowed in. But even here, Mark always says, well, maybe we should go back to the UK because at least we've got the NHS there. And I look at what is happening. I just think, no, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, where do you go? Because if you ain't got money, you're buggered everywhere, aren't you? Really, it really is a serious situation. It's frightening. Anyway, let's.
And you know what this has become?
Subject. What?
And you know what? This has become a serious situation, which is not what this is.
No.
How did we get dragged down this alley? You evil woman.
We can't talk about those things on this podcast. That's not what it's about. Right.
It's not. So we're going to sort ourselves out and come right back. We're back.
You don't do that anymore.
No.
Have we got some problems? I glanced at them and I did.
Oh, really? You did as much as glance at them, did you? No. Oh, that's nice. Well, the effort you put in, Carol.
I don't want to step on your toes, Nicholas.
Oh, yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you for not doing anything. I appreciate it.
You don't like me doing it.
Shut up. See, you do that. Oh, I don't know how to do it.
No, you don't like me doing it. I did it once and you just completely overrode me. Totally overrode everything that I picked out. So Carol, you only have yourself to blame, Nickers.
Carol, no one in history has ever overridden you. So shut up about it. Hi, Nick and Carol. A year ago, my elderly grandmother decided to buy a weekly craft magazine. You see them advertised on TV all the time. First magazine, 99p, and by the end, you'd have built a miniature car or some other piece of useless crap. In her case, each week she would receive a ball of wool to knit a small square that she could then join to make a revolting blanket of some sort. A year on, she's finally completed a patchwork blanket, and we worked out that the total cost of creating this badly sewn masterpiece through the weekly magazine was just under £600. Wow.
Wow.
600 quid. For that money, she could have bought herself something she really needed, like new teeth. No, you can't.
No.
For 600 quid, you can't. Somebody told me that, those implants.
If you have all your teeth ripped out, and
I don't know whether this is true or not, but the figure they put on an implant for one tooth is £6,000.
Oh God, how can it possibly cost that much? Seriously, how?
Well, how can it cost $3,000 to hire an ambulance just to take you to hospital? I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? Anyway.
And some people have a whole mouthful of those things.
Yeah. See, now we're so bad at this, we've started to ignore the letters in the middle of the letters.
Well, you haven't even finished reading the letter yet.
I wonder how many other people have been royally shafted by these magazines. And would you be interested in buying a badly sewn quilt? I'll do you a deal, £1,000 or nearest offer, says Simon, sent from my phone, which I am assembling each week through magazine subscription.
Oh, it's a good point, isn't it? I wonder how many holidays I could have had from not buying travel magazines. Because I've bought a lot of travel magazines. At one point, I was subscribing to about 4 travel magazines, and they were all like, I don't know, £4 a month or something. That was back then. It was a lot.
Why are you doing that?
Well, I used to love reading travel magazines, and I used to love. There was a Condé Nast one, a Condé Nast Traveller. There was a Sunday Times Travel. There was Lonely Planet Travel, and there was another one, Wanderlust or something like that. So I just bought them all because I didn't want to miss anything. Because I did used to travel a lot, as you know.
That's right, yeah. Because I sometimes look at hotels and holiday destinations, but just to look at them. I have no intention of actually going there. But you, to be fair, actually did. It was less like dreaming and more like planning for you, wasn't it?
It was actually reading up on places, and especially if a magazine had a particular place that I was planning on going to, then I would read everything about that place. So I spent so much money on travel magazines, and one day I used to keep them all, right? And then one day when I moved, I thought, I can't keep all this stuff anymore. And it took so long to get them all out. And I should have sold them, because these like archived magazines sometimes they can cost quite a lot of money, and if you put them on eBay, they get snapped up.
Really?
Yeah.
I've still got Mad. You know Mad magazine. Alfred E.
I do remember Mad magazine. Yeah.
I used to buy them in the 60s or the 70s when I was a kid. I've got maybe 100 of them still in. I just keep carrying them around with me.
Oh, so. You could sell them easily. Was that a bit like Punch magazine? Was it like Punch? It was pretty. It was for kids. Punch was very grown up, wasn't it? I went into newsagents like way back, like decades ago, and I said, "Do you have Punch magazine?" And they said, "Oh no, we don't do boxing publications." Oh. Seriously, or is that you trying to be funny again?
No, that actually happened. Oh no, we don't do boxing publications. Can you imagine a boxing publication called Punch?
That'd be brilliant. God, there are so many obscure magazines, though, aren't there? Have you ever sort of looked into, like, I think there's a show on TV that always picks something out of some obscure magazine. I'm trying to think what it is now. It's one of those panel shows. This week's question is from something, and it's like, isn't that Have I Got News for You? Where they blank out a headline. Oh yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. God, I haven't watched that for so long. It's just far left. Oh my God, it's just ridiculous.
So far left.
No, I haven't watched it for donkey's years. But yes, that's exactly what they used to do, is to pick out like Fish Innards Weekly or something, really obscure, or Tractors.
I just find it, Tractors Monthly,
Tractor Tires Monthly or something,
I just find it amazing that there's so many magazines still being printed. And when I used to go and get my hair cut at this place in Soho, they used to have just like tons of magazines, and they'd be so thick. They'd be like an inch thick, and they weren't anything that you'd ever heard of. And you either had a choice of all the women's magazines or the men's magazines, and all the men's magazines were massively thick. They cost like £10. You see on the cover, and it would just be adverts all the way through, like about 500 pages of adverts. Yeah. And that's it. And you'd be skimming through, and it would be one picture of some furious-looking bloke. they dressed up in the silliest thing that you could possibly imagine. No wonder they all look so angry.
Well, that's why I stopped buying magazines, because expensive fashion magazines. So I used to buy Vogue and Harper's and Queen and And
Yeah.
all those expensive fashion magazines, I used to be addicted to them. Couldn't wait for them to come out. I used to like have magazine orgies on a Saturday afternoon, surrounded by magazines, and just lie on the sofa and read the lot. But in the end, and I don't know if it was because I just grew up and got old and kind of saw them for what they were, I just thought these things are just full of people writing favourable things about freebie and that is exactly what they are. And like you're paying like £5 for the privilege. Well, I don't even know how much they cost anymore. But Vogue magazine is it actually is. They all get the stuff free. They all put it in the magazine, and they live a high life. And then you're sitting there going, "Oh, I can't afford that," and you feel bad about yourself. Magazines. That song. I can't remember who sung it, but it was like a speaking song, and it was like a speech from a college in America, which gave out all this great advice. And one of them was in there. Do you remember it?
It's that it was a speech. And remember to wear sunblock.
Sunscreen. That's it.
Sunscreen. Yeah. That was an actual speech that somebody, I think a teacher gave to a graduating class.
That's right.
And then they turned it into a song. Yeah.
And it is full of great advice. And one of them was, do not read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly. So true. And people still haven't learnt that lesson. They still read them, and then they still go and feel bad about themselves and go and have plastic surgery. And then, oh Christ, the racket. Did you hear that?
That's your stomach rumbling there, Carol. You need to eat something.
I do need to eat something, actually, but I'll have it in a minute. Yeah, no, it is really, really, really good advice. Like, people just don't listen. They still feel bad about themselves, or they go on social media and look at people who've put filters and God knows what on photographs and go, "Oh, my God, don't look like that."
That's replaced. Yeah, the social media's replaced all of that magazine stuff.
Well, if they said that speech now, if that person made that speech now, it would be, do not go on Instagram. It will only make you feel ugly, which, I suppose it does if you're young and impressionable, but not when you're past a certain age. Don't give a
Dear Nick and Carol, I'm getting worried, really worried. I think I might be obsessed with you both. I find myself having an argument with my husband the other night as he kept talking to me when I was trying to listen to your podcast.
There's a lot of this.
The excitement when I see there is a new episode is frankly embarrassing. What's more, I literally want to be Carol. I want that entire French life she talks about. I want her wonderful zero f***s given attitude. But most of all, I want Mark. Hello, sailor. Help.
Excusez-moi.
P.S. I've just realised it's Carol I'm obsessed with, not you, Nick, says Christine. Thanks, Christine. You can stick it.
Oh, that's quite a nice email, isn't it, actually? Yeah. Everybody wants Mark. Everybody. Honestly, when we used to work at ITV, he used to get literally sexually harassed every day, and mostly by gays. I'm telling you. I'm not joking. But in a nice sort of jokey way, not like...
a funny sexual harassment, yeah.
In a friendly way. They were all friends, Not that sort of friends, but they were friends. Yeah, everybody wants Mark. Everybody... I'm doing this tour at the moment. Bloody hell, I'm not by that. Every single show, almost, people are like, "Oh, where's Mark? We wanted to see Mark." And I'm like, "Oh, excuse me, I'm here." Do you know what I mean? So everybody wants Mark to be there. So I always have to say, "Oh, he's going to Glasgow. He's going to be at the Glasgow show." So, can't traipse up to Glasgow, but it's like, all right, I get it. And it doesn't threaten me or upset me. It's fine. Who wrote that letter? What's her name? Christine.
Christine, yeah.
Christine, it's fine. It's lovely that you're lusting after my husband. I wonder how many husbands out there are lusting after me. I doubt there are many.
Oh, don't put yourself down, Carol. Let me do it.
Oh, yeah. Get in the queue. Yeah. No, it's nice.
Hi. Carol rightly said she enjoyed skim milk. Nick said incorrectly that it was like water. Skim milk has a texture of its own, and people who can only taste water need their taste buds tested. They remind me of those idiots who watch a program in SD when an HD version is available. Sent from my iPhone, soon to be out of date because they're just about to release another one. They are. God. They're trying to whip up excitement about that. Can't believe it. People still queue around the block for a new bleeding phone.
Oh, God, I hope not. No, the only publicity they managed to get for the launch of the new iPhone was the fact that everything went down at the launch, the showcase, so nobody could. They advertised it as we will be broadcasting this launch live, and then all the technology went down, and they couldn't show it apparently. So that was the only bit of publicity I read about it. Yeah, well, I mean, seriously, unless they come up with something really seriously new, I ain't buying.
How's the tour going, by the way?
Oh, the tour is, oh my God, it's magnificent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I'm not even being sarcastic. I mean, look, it's bloody knackering, travelling and everything else, because it's a different place and nowhere seems to be very close to the one before. So lots of travelling, but it's pretty, it's quite life affirming, if you know what I mean. It's nice to see people out and drinking and laughing and misbehaving, and it's good. It's really good. It's going really well, actually. It's going better than I thought it would.
Right. Well, you never know, do you?
Well, you don't know, no. And I, you know, I never really have high expectations of anything because I don't like to be disappointed. So I always think if you don't think anything's going to be great and then it is, then it's doubly great, isn't it? Then you don't get disappointed if it's not. So it is. It's absolutely fantastic. We were in Lincoln on last Sunday night, from record Lincoln. Have you ever been to Lincoln? Have you ever been to Lincoln?
I don't think so.
No, I reckon most people haven't been to Lincoln. But I'll tell you, it was bloody brilliant. Oh, my God. Nice looking city. Beautiful bit of water down the middle.
The river, you mean?
No, is it a river or a canal? I don't know. It might be one or the other. Probably is a river. But I wasn't there long enough. I was only there for about 11 hours or something, and then I had to leave. But the audience were, oh my God, talk about party animals. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Glasgow on Friday, so I've got to go to Glasgow on Thursday night, and then Cardiff, and then Belfast, and then it's all done. No, that's not right, is it? No. Glasgow, Kilmarnock and Dunblane, and then the next weekend we've got to go Belfast, Cardiff, Birmingham. Oh.
Wow, that's all over the place. Exactly,
all over the place. And that's the knackering thing about it. The show's, you know, it's a breeze. But, yeah, I bet you're glad you asked me now, Nicholas. What was it? There was a question buried in there somewhere. What was it about?
Not really. It was the skim milk thing.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I did glance at that one. And I remember thinking, that is true. Why didn't I pick Nicholas up on that? It's not like water at all. It's not.
It is.
It might be a bit more watery in appearance, but if you did a taste test, you couldn't tell the difference 100%.
Oh, please.
No.
What, between skim milk and an ordinary full fat?
Maybe between full fat, but not between skimmed and semi-skimmed, which is...
Well, there's such a nonsense. Just have full fat milk and that's the end of it. It's better for you.
You don't need it. There's half fat milk is enough fat.
But fat's not going to make you fat.
Well, it does, actually, if that's all you eat. And if you had a pint of that milk every day, you'd soon be piling on the lard, I'll tell you.
No, I don't think you would, because it would make you full. And then you wouldn't be eating crisps and snacks and nuts and cakes and biscuits and all that stuff.
Well, that's what you used to have when you were little, didn't you? You used to have a third of a pint of milk at school every single day until the milk snatcher came along.
That's right. Yes. Yeah, and we were all thin as a rake.
Well, of course we were. But you need that kind of energy and fat when you're growing, because you're still growing and you need it. But you don't particularly need full fat milk at your age. That's like, it's like my granddad used to always want a cup of hot chocolate at night or Horlicks, but it had to be made with proper milk.
Right.
In fact, I don't even think they had skimmed milk back then, I think.
No, and they were all thin as rakes. You look at a picture, like a crowd picture from the 1960s to 70s, and there won't be a single fat person in that picture. If you take a similar picture today, and there won't be a single thin person in that picture.
Yeah,
Skim milk is making you fat.
But no, it's not. It's not the skimmed milk that's making you fat. It's the fact that you think that if you drink skimmed milk, you can still eat burgers and pies and God knows what else. That's the problem. People can't compute the fact that it's like buying a slimming magazine. It actually won't make you thin. And
I'll have a box of 12 donuts and a Diet Coke, please.
Exactly. I'll buy an exercise machine for £1,000 and then just leave it in the garage and not get on it. Doesn't work. You're not suddenly going to look like Elle Macpherson. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty simple to work out, though, Nickers. I worked it out when in my late teens, early 20s, and that's why I'm not fat. I get asked that a lot, actually, on this tour. Well, how do you stay so slim? Well, because I don't eat a load of shit, and I don't want to be fat, so I don't eat it. And they're like, oh, well, how can you not?
You have a strict diet of cigarettes and alcohol.
I do not smoke, thank you.
Dear Nick and Carol, all the lions are singing, sent from mid to late 1900s. P.S. I usually listen to I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
What? What did he say?
Dear Nick and Carol, all the lions are singing. That's in capital letters with an exclamation mark. What does that mean?
No idea.
Maybe if I Google it, it will become clear. Shall I do that?
Go on, Nickers, Google it. I'm not allowed to have my computer on because it keeps going ting.
Nothing comes up apart from the Lion King. So I don't know what that means. Anyway, it says, P.S. I usually listen to podcasts about health, fitness, well-being, self-improvement and empowerment. Yours is a nice change, says Gary.
Well, thanks. How can our podcast not empower people? I mean, seriously. Oh, so insulting.
I mean, we, Carol and I, have fashioned some sort of career in media. If we can do it, seriously, feel empowered.
We are inspirational. It's true. People probably do look at us and think, Jesus Christ, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Inspirational.
I mean, look at this, what we're doing now. I mean, it takes no preparation, no rehearsal. It lasts an hour. The podcast lasts about an hour, and that's the exact time it takes to make it. How are we getting away with it?
Hang on, no preparation. Speak for yourself. I have to plug the mic in and everything.
See? Hi, Nick and Carol. Ever since Carol outed herself as being unable to pronounce the simplest of English words, coin, I am now completely unable to say or hear the word correctly. Carol is now inside my head. Anytime this word is countenanced, I always hear coin. That's how you say it, isn't it?
I don't say it like that.
Coin. Says, I have now been referred to a speech therapist and will be sending Carol my accounts for payment. Sent from the therapist's office, Sydney, Australia, says Mark. Oh, my God, people in Australia think you talk weird.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's fine, isn't it? Pot and kettle. Jesus. Coin. It's a coin.
Oh, God, don't start that again.
What?
Just don't.
You honestly, you need to get a grip. I don't know what you're talking about. I went to school. I learned to speak English. I speak good English. I have good grammar. I might not. I might drop me H's now and again, but I know.
Your H's and practically every other letter in the alphabet. What are you talking about? Good grammar, can talk good English. Have you heard you?
I have got good grammar, actually. You will never find a mistake in any of my messages or emails or anything. They are grammatically perfect.
Yeah, usually 2 words, and the second one's off. Grammatically perfect.
No, I don't. I correspond a lot with various people, and I'm always very concerned and worried about making everything exactly right. If a message starts and it's accidentally doesn't start with a capital letter, I go back and correct it. And I know most people don't, but I do because it matters to me.
Who are you? I don't even know who you are anymore.
Oh, shut up. I've always been like that.
Right, dear Nick and Carol. Oh, by the way, please, people, keep them shorter. I had to just throw out a couple that were so long. They were like books. It was like stories that just go on and on and on. Keep them short, like 100 words maximum.
Yeah. Well, I know. I don't think you should be so mean to people and say, I had to just throw them out. It's like, someone's put a lot of effort into that. And actually, some of the ones I glanced at were quite long, but were easily shortened and quite funny because I was chuckling.
You bring them to the party.
Oh, God, I'm not going for them all again.
See.
There were loads.
There were. This one's long-ish. Hi, Nick and Carol. Up until recently, I thought Carol always sounded fed up and bored, and now I know why. It's you, Nick.
See, everything is your fault. Everything.
What with you going to see that celestial bore your arse off? It was good. It's the thing in Greenwich that I went to see, the Aurora Borealis.
Oh,
and your namby-pamby visits to garden centres and other people's gardens where you end up complaining that blowers make too much noise and drinks cost too much and isn't the weather bad and how you have to edit the show and how you go out of your way to prevent anyone from knowing what you currently look like. I don't. Get a grip. Don't you realise you've turned into Nick Meldrew? Moan, moan, moan. And every week, poor Carol has to listen to you moaning on while at least she gets on with her life, drinking and touring and drinking and loose women and drinking and French tax exile and more drinking. On your LBC Weekly show, you come across I like great rock bands and other stuff, but the reality is you've turned into Nick the Moaning Meldrew. So, Carol, my problem is, can you sort Nick out before he sinks even further into Meldrew mode and starts every sentence with, and back in my day, or you don't know how lucky you are. And he buys a big slipper to put both feet in.
I bet he's already got one. I put money on the fact that he's already got one of those big slippers that you put both feet in. Come on, Nickers, come clean.
Sent from my Wang printer hood. What's that?
Oh, Wang. Oh, God, Wang is a very old piece of, or rather, I think Wang was a brand. It was a word processor. I used to use those in the early 80s. Wang Go on, Google it. Oh,
no. Google Wang. No, warning.
No, I'm telling you, Wang word processor was a thing, I think.
Who could have predicted that the English-speaking world would not warm to a product called Wang?
Well, I did at the time. I remember it. There you go. Wang word processor. Oh my God. Oh, that takes me back. That sends a little shiver down my spine, that. Honestly, looking at them pictures. Anyway, back to the problem. The problem in hand is, and I'm telling you right now, what's the name of the guy? What's his name?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not on here.
You're so useless.
I cut and pasted it, and if he or she did put it on there, that's the bit that I missed out. So sorry about that.
Right. So the problem is...
Sorry, not sorry.
Cannot be solved because there's no hope for Dickers. It's too late. He's gone down the moaning rabbit hole, I'm afraid, and there's no getting him out. But the truth is, I've known Knickers now for, I don't know, 30 years nearly, probably 30 years. And he's always been like this.
What?
You have. You've always been, even if deep down you're not miserable, you give that sort of air of misery.
That's nonsense. I bring delight wherever I go, and you know it.
I'm not saying you spread misery, but what I'm saying is that you've got an air of misery about you. You know, come on, I'm right, aren't I? You have.
Well, is it any wonder having to sit here and stuff at this? You know, in my day...
He's hit the nail on the head, that bloke. I'm telling you, that's got to be, like, if there was a prize for the best problem or the most nail on the head problem of the week, that would get it, because you are the moaning Meldrew who used to be known as Knickers Abbot. Moaning Meldrew, I love that. No answer to that problem. Sorry, but it's brilliant.
Dear Nick and Carol, having listened to the weather reports on your LBC show for a while, Nick, I have an important scientific concern. If it's always raining so much in Glasgow, why haven't the good folk there evolved into semi-aquatic animals? Surely if this Darwin bloke's right, they would have webbed feet and gills by now. Please investigate. Cheers, Eddie.
Yeah, but that's not true, because I was in Scotland, I was in Aberdeen and in Edinburgh, and it was sunshine and boiling hot, while down south it was cold and raining. So, you know...
Believe me, I've lived in Glasgow for 3 months and it rained every single day. Mind you, it was January, February, March.
Yeah, well, it rains everywhere in January, February and March.
Well, it usually rains every single day in Glasgow. Every single day in Glasgow it rains. What is a bit bizarre is that, I mean, how long have human beings been around? Oh, we should Google it. It's a while. I think that's scientifically accurate. It's been a while. And yet we haven't evolved in any way at all, have we? I mean, what's our little finger for, precisely? Why isn't that joined with the one next to it to strengthen it? Also, our little toes. What's that for? Well, there's all sorts of things that are like hair growing out your ears. Why?
Well, that's a sign of age, isn't it? And my mum used to say,
why do older people need more hair on their ears?
Oh God, I don't know. Because it kind of falls off your head and then goes in your ear. That's what happens.
Is it?
Yeah, but if you didn't have...
Well, it takes root there, like a plant.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's propagating in there. The thing is with toes, right? If you didn't have a little toe, you'd only have 4 toes, and that'd look weird, right? And you'd probably fall over.
No, it only look weird because you're used to it the other way.
I'll tell you what your little finger's for. It's for when you're making a cake, and you get the cake mix out with a spoon to put in the cake tin. You use your little finger to scrape it off the spoon, because your little finger's the cleanest one, because you never don't use it for anything else. It's there specifically for cakes.
Right. Well, you should get your dental hygienist to just use her little finger on you.
Because it's clean, and she wouldn't even have to wear gloves then, would she?
Yeah, no deep clean required.
Yeah, exactly. You put disposable gloves on. Do they need to be sterilised as well, for crying out loud? No. Hello? Sorry, no, I only said that because I wasn't trying to be funny. I said it because a little thing came up on my computer that said my AirPods had just connected, so I didn't know if you were coming out my AirPods rather than out my computer. But anyway, sorry, panic over.
Oh, well, thank God for that.
You're still there. Yeah, little fingers that... Yeah.
But we haven't, there's been no evolving at all, like zero of evolvement physically, nothing at all. doesn't it?
Yes. I think people have got taller, for instance, haven't they? Do you know, like when you go to really old buildings and houses, the doors are like 4 foot high, and people used to be short. So we have got taller. I think lots of things have evolved about the human.
People also have
body.
got better looking, I think, overall. I mean, you look at old pictures, and the people in them, they look like mutants. They look like there's something like wrong with them. But that's just how people used to look. In the 70s, for instance.
I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you just said that. No. What do you mean? What do you mean? People used to look uglier. In like their facial features were uglier in the past. Oh my God, I've never heard such a load of crap in my life. Maybe it's because they didn't have the grooming facilities that we have now, or I don't know. How can you say that? I don't think that's true.
It's not an attack on you, Carol, even though you are incredibly old. It predates even your birth. I'm talking about old. People used to look weird. They did. It's a fact.
What do you mean? You mean just like decades ago, or do you mean hundreds or thousands of years ago? When
Not
you see
thousands. No, I mean as far back as you've got photographs of people. Old photograph, like 100 years ago, people used to look weird in the face. That very, very rarely do you come across somebody in a 100-year-old photograph and you think, wow, that person's good looking. They're all mutant-like.
Yeah, but you see like pictures of Jesus and that, and they're all good looking. All those people in that Last Supper look really good looking. They don't look ugly at all. And that's like a painting. So
yeah, they're all white and blonde as well. So, there's that, as people in the Middle East always have been.
Have they?
This says Kev again. In your most recent podcast, you speculate as to whether or not your recent correspondent, Kev, that is I, could be your ex-colleague, Scottish Kev. I can confirm I'm not Scottish Kev, but I am in fact Irish Kev from Ireland, where the little people live. Arr.
Oh, God, here we go. More complaints.
However, being slightly overweight and having stolen a living for 40 years, technically I qualify as a fat fraud, something it would appear I have in common with Scottish Kev. Anyway, can you clear up a small piece of confusion for me? Carol's love of the vino. Why do a lot of the emails sent to you start with Heineken Carol? Cheers, Stella Artois Kev.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Because people go Heineken Carol. Heineken Carol. Heineken Carol sounds like Heineken Carol. Oh, God, get with the programme.
Dear Nick and Carol. Dear Nick and Carol, I'm a regular listener, very much look forward to your podcast every week, but unfortunately it's created a small but growing problem in my life. To describe my mother as a fan of yours would be an understatement, and despite enjoying your show myself, I am regularly subjected to relive every second of it when in her company. It's Nick this and Carol that and sausages and dingleberries the other. She's recently taken to beginning phone calls with, hello? And on she goes, going, hello, despite obviously being able to hear me. The problem has reached peak levels since you read out her letter on last week's show.
Oh, who was it? What?
I don't know. I fear the sound of her name coming from your lips has pushed her over the edge, and as a family, we struggle to cope with constant references to you two and your podcast. She is Joanne, the empty nest lady. That's how she refers to herself now.
I remember
Nick,
now.
could you take her down to the garden centre so we can all just have a day of peace before my dad ups and leaves too? Thanks, says Robin.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. That's really funny. I don't like getting the blame for everything, but that's funny. Yeah.
Cut it out, Joanne.
Yeah, cut it out, Joanne. And anyway, if you don't, they're both going to leave if you don't stop it.
That's right.
That's really funny. Hello?
Dear Nick, I think you should go easier on Carol. It's possible that, just like the Prime Minister, she's doing her best.
Oh, don't start.
Yours very sincerely, L. Roberts. And we got through them all.
Yeah, so
apart from the really, really long ones that I had to throw away because it just took. I'd be spending like half an hour trying to edit them down into something we could use.
all right. Well, if I see a long one in the future, I'll do it for you. Yeah. Oh God, we'll have to do everything.
Wow.
Well, I will. What was that last one about? See, every time you say something, I forget what I was going to say. I was going to say something.
Oh, I see. It's my fault.
Yes, it is your fault.
You're doing your best.
I am doing my best. Well, thank you for noticing. I am doing my best. I always do my best. What's the point in doing anything less than your best? Yeah? Sure you agree, Nickers?
Yeah,
Sure you agree?
It says Mrs. Oh, I don't know how to do it.
Well, that's why I don't do it, because I don't want to be bothered. I can't be bothered to do my best, so I don't do it. I don't want to do anything unless I can do my best, and I'm always doing my best. Everything I do.
Good plan.
Is my best. Yeah, exactly. Good plan.
This is getting very aggressive now.
No.
Why, by the way, have you called yourself OGrady for the purposes of this podcast? Your feed has come up called OGrady. What's that?
I don't know. I must have called myself OGrady before because I couldn't think of a new name, and so it gives you the old options, doesn't it? So I just clicked on that one. I don't know. Right. I don't know. Why? No idea. OGrady. It's a good name, though, isn't it?
It is a good name. Hi, kids. A side note, I used to answer the calls and met you both a million years ago in the Jewel of the North. Not Manchester, but Beeston/Leeds. So, right. So we didn't do a show in Leeds. I lived in Leeds and did a show from there. So this must be somebody who answered the phones in Leeds.
Did I come up there and do a show with you or something? I must have.
I remember you stormed through my life like you were on army manoeuvres for, I think, a weekend. But I don't know why you were there. You stayed with me, didn't you?
Did I? Yes, I did. You had that nice flat overlooking that river, canal, whatever it was.
Water going through the middle of town. Yeah. bit of water. Yeah.
Oh, God, I do remember that. Jesus Christ. When was that? It must have been, that's donkeys years ago, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
What were you doing? What show was that in Leeds? I
was doing a late night talk show, doing what I normally do.
That's right. I do remember that. That's the only time I think I've ever been to Leeds.
I quite like Leeds. I mean, the actual town itself is okay, but drive in any direction for 5 minutes and the scenery is fantastic.
Well, it's Yorkshire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is lovely up there. It is lovely, actually. I do love Yorkshire. God, that's what a memory that is. Well, actually, it's not, because I can't remember it. Can't remember what we were doing. Can't remember why I was there. All I can remember is having a view of all the water going through the town, the city, and I just remembered now that was your flat. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But I don't know why you were there.
I think I'd come to do a show with you or something.
That's just really weird, though. One show. Why would we do that?
I don't know. That is odd, isn't it? How bizarre.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe you were just living in Leeds and you were lonely and you said, come up for a weekend so we can go out and have some fun. No, that wouldn't be it.
No, that's definitely not it. No.
No.
This says, it says, my problem, or should I say everyone's problem, is I recently spent 3 days in hospital with quinsy. Not the detective, but a throat infection. Quinsy.
Yeah, there is a throat infection called quinsy, although I thought it was called Quincy. I thought it was called Quincy or Quinsy, yeah.
It says, anyway, the ward had 5 beds and a toilet shower. Said toilet had no toilet lid, in which to keep the old splashback issue that Nick always goes on about. That's fecal flora cloudburst. It's true. Have I discussed fecal flora cloudburst with you?
Yes, indeed you have, more than once.
That's a no, but you just don't want to hear about it, do you?
No, I know you have. I know you have because I know what it is. And if you hadn't told me, I would never have known because it's obviously something you've made up that you think is totally brilliant, but it's
not. It's absolutely hideous, and I haven't made it up. Anyway, said toilet.
It all comes from OCD, doesn't it?
No, it's not OCD, anything of the sort. If you stick your finger in some dog poo, you wash your hands, right? That's not OCD. It's just common blooming sense.
Well, you wouldn't do that, though. No, it's not, because why would you go around sticking your hand in some dog poo for crying out loud? Honestly, you're so illogical.
Anyway, so he's in the hospital. And he's looking at the toilet seat in his ward, and he's got no toilet lid. He says, I noticed this immediately, and I thought, this place must be covered in
Well, I doubt it. You'd see it, right?
No, that's the whole point. You don't. He says, this was made worse when the bloke opposite used the toilet 8 times in 20 minutes. I noticed this from the sound reverberating around the place and the fact that he called the nurse to say, my stools have changed. I've been 8 times in 20 minutes.
Oh, my God. Really? Oh, my God. That's not the last thing I need to hear today.
He says, personally, I'd have just stayed in there.
Yeah.
The thing is, a blue light in there would look like a murder scene. This can't carry on. Is there any advice you can offer to other toilet lidless sufferers in hospital? And is antibacterial hand gel safe for your ass? Asking for a friend.
Oh, no. Stop it. I mean, that's a terrible, terrible problem to end on, Nickers, isn't it? About shit. Literally.
Please.
That's what it's about. Look, people should stop being so paranoid. Apparently, your toilet something is cleaner than your tea towel or something like that. People
maybe yours.
Well, no, it's not. Toilets are not that dirty. They flush and everything goes away, right?
No, it doesn't.
All come out and spray you in the face.
It creates a cloud of micro droplets that emanate from the toilet and cover everything. Never leave your toothbrush uncovered in a bathroom.
Oh, not you and all. Oh, not you and all. Oh, my God. Oh, right, that's it. I can't deal with this. Mark mummifies his toothbrush everywhere he goes. And when we go to a hotel, he takes it out with him because he went, no, I'm not having them cleaning the toilet with my
Exactly. Quite right. Yeah. I put it in the hotel safe.
Oh, stop it. You're mental, you two. Seriously, you've got a problem.
We need to form a support group. I think I've said that before, haven't I?
Yeah, you definitely do. No, I need to form a support group for you two to get you out of this ridiculousness. Honestly, where's it going to end? What have you got to say for yourself? You know you're guilty. You're guilty of over cleanliness, and that's why you probably get sick all the time.
I'm sorry.
Now you really do sound like Mark. Oh, poor Mark.
I'm going to call social services.
Yeah, I think you should. Yeah. I'll call them. Don't worry. I'll call them to come to get you.
Right. So what do you do?
Oh, what do I do? Oh, my God. At the moment, I'm doing so much. I never worked so hard in my bloody life. Apart from this podcast, I'm currently on tour, going around the UK every weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, doing a show called Lunch and Laughs Live. And that's exactly what it is. You get lunch and you get some fizz and you get some laughs, and it's all live and it's brilliant. And it's nice to be out. And
why is it called Lunch and Laughs Live?
Because you get lunch and you get some laughs and it's all live.
Well, why didn't you say that?
I just did, you chump. You're not listening to me. You don't listen to a word I say, do you? And I also do a program called Loose Women, which I was on this week on Monday, and I'm on next week on Monday and Thursday. And that's on at 12:30 on ITV. And I also do a column in Best Magazine.
What's it about this week? Is it about me?
No, it's not about you, actually. It's a serious subject. It's about vaccinating children, whether or not we should. So that's what that column's about this week. Next week, it's going to be about... no, not you. Oh, I don't know. I'm doing it right now today, and I haven't decided really yet. So, and that's it. And I do other stuff as well. But
what?
Well, I don't want it all to be about me. What do you do, Nickers?
I don't want it to be all about me, says Carol McGiffin. Who are you kidding?
No, I've got some other things that I might do, but I've just remembered I can't talk about them yet.
Right, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I do two other podcasts apart from this one. There's the Nick Abbot Habit, which is from old shows pre-COVID. They're disease-free and concentrated amusement. They're about half an hour long. So if you've got half an hour and you wish to be amused, then and you don't want to hear anything about COVID at all, they are from pre-COVID shows. And there's the podcast of the shows that I do on the radio, the Friday and Saturday night shows. We take the news and the ads out. It takes less time to listen to. You'll use less electricity, and eco warriors won't glue their face to your front door. And on the radio, LBC, 10 to 1 at night on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you want us to have a look at your issue, send it to the following address.
Nick and Carol at global.com.
That's NICKANDCAROL at global.com. And prepare to be...
completely unsatisfied. Is it unsatisfied or dissatisfied? I think it's both, isn't it?
I thought you were Mrs. English lady.
Yeah, well, I'm just checking. It is both. You can use both. Unsatisfied and dissatisfied is it means the same thing. So yeah, but you might even be satisfied.
That's true. Yeah, you might. Yeah. It's rare, but it happens.
It's a big might.
Yeah, but it's rare. But it happens. But it's rare. But it does happen.
All right, come on. Can I go now? I'm starving.
What are you going to eat?
Oh, God, I don't know, probably some Rivetas, because that's all I've got. I don't want to get any more food in because I've got to go away again tomorrow.
Rivetas and about an inch of butter on top.
Hey, how did you know? Yeah. Oh, just love butter. Do you?
For somebody who likes butter a lot, you can't actually say it.
Butter.
Exactly.
All right, butter. I love butter. I do, actually. It's my favourite thing to put on toast and bread and jacket potatoes and everything. You can't eat those things without it, right? True.
Without what?
Butter. Gotcha.
There's something about the way you say butter that's just a bit unseemly. Can you go back to saying butter?
All right, yeah. I'm going to have Rivetas with a ton of butter on.
Yeah, butter. That's better.
And then I'm going to go downtown.
Okay. What, you run out of knickers again?
No, I've got a Selfridges voucher that's burning a hole in my wallet. I need to spend it because I don't know why, because I've been working quite hard. I need to treat myself. Do you know what I mean?
We'd do better. You could treat me.
Yeah, why would I do that? And remind me, I can't think of a reason. Why would I do that?
Because I do all the work.
Oh, for God's sake. I'll do it.
No, you won't.
See, exactly. The minute I say I'll do it, you're like, no, I'll do it.